Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So if you like financials, if you're trying to learn how to budget, you want to do some challenges for savings and all that kind of jazz, this is the channel for you. So today I'm kind of going to talk about two different subjects. The first one is talking about your budget. So everybody knows, or if you're new to trying to get your financial stuff in order, first place you want to start is with a budget. So the budget is basically the blueprint of your whole financial order, and what the budget does is it sets boundaries, helps you know where your money's going, right? So the budget, first couple things that you want to start out with, if you're starting fresh and you've never done a budget before, you want to find out where all your money should be going if it's not going where it's supposed to right now. So first thing you want to do is list out all your household debts. That includes your rent or mortgage, your lights, your telephone, your almost had a blank there. I'm gonna leave this in, I'm not gonna edit it out. So all your utilities basically are your household debts. So you definitely want to take care of your shelter, where you live first, before you spend anything else, before you buy a latte, before you pay off credit cards, before you send out money for medical bills, all that kind of stuff. The first thing that you want to do is pay your household utilities, because if you have a stable place to live, you're doing really good. So list out all your debts, your utilities first, and then you want to do car payments next. Because you have to drive, you have to find a way to get to work. And then the next thing you want to do is start with consumer debt. That would be credit cards, personal loans, student loans, that kind of thing. Payday loans, God forbid, hopefully nobody is doing payday loans, because it's crazy. You're paying like, 300% on the dollar. So try to stay away from payday loans if you can. So once you get all your consumer and your household debts on a piece of paper, then you know what it's going to start looking like. And then basically what you're going to do is now you're going to start coordinating the dance of when everything should be paid. Now, to you and me, if you've done a budget before, it sounds really simple, but if you get paid every 2 weeks, then you have to coordinate a little bit tighter than someone that gets paid every week. And what that's going to look like is you're going to make a calendar with all the days of the month on it, and you're just going to start writing down when all those bills are due. So some might be due the 5th, some might be due the 12th. So what you have to do is coordinate when you're going to pay those before the due date. Always coordinate your budget before the due date, because we don't want to accrue late fees, tacking extra money on what you're already paying, because you're already paying interest. So you don't want to get any extra fees, because it will eat into your budget, and then it will take longer to pay some things off if you're doing it that way. So coordinate when you're going to pay whatever, and how much that paycheck. So you usually have an idea of when that paycheck's going to happen, how much is going to be in that paycheck, just by knowing how much you work during that week. So you want to be very disciplined and work the same amount of hours if you can every week, so you know that you have a consistent stability in your dollars coming in your income. Okay, so that's number 2 for sure. And it sounds really complicated, but it's not. You just have to break it down really simply, and so that you can take little chunks of it in at a time, basically. All right. So then you're going to create the budget dance, which is choreographing when you're going to pay this, when you're going to pay that, how much money you have to roll over to pay another bill. So the thing is remember to pay your bills first. Don't get caught up in the consumer rat race and buy too many lattes. Don't eat out if you can't afford it. So the thing about trying to pay debt off is you don't want to put a bunch of money in savings if you're behind on your bills. If you're doing saving challenges and that sort of thing, and you don't have your full payment for that credit card, even if it's a minimum payment, then you're doing it all wrong. So you make sure you pay your bills first, right? Don't eat out if you can't afford it. If you have to roll money over because your paycheck will not cover the rest half of your bills, that's what you have to do. Now, there's a couple of things that you can do. There's some side hustles that you can do to bring in extra money as well, because you don't want to keep working to death just to pay bills. So it's very strategic. You want to pay your monthly bills first, right? And then you want to pay minimum payments on everything until you're caught up. Once you're caught up and you're consistently doing that, then what you want to do is get an emergency fund, and it don't even have to be $1,000. Even if you can save, say, $10 out of your budget every month and put that away in your emergency fund. Don't do any like savings challenges other than the emergency fund, and start tackling consumer debt, because once you start freeing up all that money from consumer debt, then you can actually loosen the reins, and you can start doing a lot of the other stuff like sinking funds, saving challenges, saving for vacations, or giving your children an allowance. If it's not in the budget, then your children should not be getting an allowance, or your husband should not be getting extra money. If you have to sacrifice now to get where you're going later, I highly recommend that you do that. And it's not for everybody to be on the debt-free journey, but a budget is definitely a must to get there. You need to know where every dollar is going, and so you can scrimp and change some things up. If you need to stop going out to eat and lower it. I'm not saying that you have to cut out every single thing, but if you're behind on your debt, yes, I would definitely pull back the reins until you can get caught up, because when you're in financial turmoil, it's terrible. It's not a very great place to be, because there's depression, and all those because it messes with your head. It really does when you're behind on bills. So that's what I wanted to share with the budget today. And my next thing is Robinhood. I want to show you my Robinhood account real quick. So let's get started on that. Let me turn my other computer on so you guys can see this, and it'll be bigger. All right, guys, we're gonna log in here, and we're going to start our account here. Hold on one second. Okay, now that we're in, let's do this. Okay, so here's my portfolio, and I want to show you guys because, let me show you. So this is what's in my portfolio right now. I've been doing really, really good, putting extra money in there, and I probably won't put any extra money in until I get my survey junkie money. That's my side hustle money. So let's take a look at what we got. So we have our 1 share of Tesla. I'm so proud of that because it took a lot of due diligence to try to get that 1 share so that I can reap the benefits on the split this week, because you had to have 1 share on the books by the 17th. So that's really great. And then we have 3 shares of Glad. I have 2 shares of, well, actually almost 2.5 shares. I have 2.32 shares of Ford. Kronos, KRO, I have 2.08. Main Financial, I have 1 and like 4/10. Stag, I have 2 shares. AMCR, I have 2.12 shares. EFC, 3 shares. ORCC, almost 2.5 shares. PotX, I have 1 and 1/4 share. And then O, I have 1 share. So I've finally got this bumped up to 1 share. Now that the stock market is down and these are all in red, is the perfect time to add money to your portfolio. Never buy when it's high, guys. Always buy when it's low. So if you have to transfer money and save it until you get a bunch, until it's down. So my ACRE, I have 1 and 1.25 shares is 1.36. CSWC, I have 1.02 shares. GNE, this is my photovoltaics, my solar stock. It's at 2.15 shares. ICL 2.19. USOI, this is an oil company, 3 shares. VT, I have 0.10. These are my really high ones that I added, and it's going to take a while before I can get 1 share in these guys. So my HII, I have 0.2 of a share. BBY, 0.6 of a share. My Starbucks, I almost have 1 share, but when the price is like $85, I mean, it takes a while because I usually only put like 100 in at a time, and sometimes just my survey money may be $20 or $30. So it's gonna take a hot minute. So my BRMK is at 5.27 shares, and my Charles Schwab, I almost have 1/2 share. So that's my portfolio, and I'm pretty proud of it. I've been putting a little bit in at a time every week. Even though the stock market's down, I'm buying low, guys. So remember to buy low and sell high, especially if there's something that's not moving. And I've been watching some other stocks too, but these are the ones that I am in for right now, trying to get the ones that I sold so I could get that 1 share of Tesla back up. So, all right, guys, that's what we have today. A little budget knowledge and seeing what my Robinhood portfolio was up to. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.